Duel Review is brought to you by NexusDigitalComics.com. On today's Duel Review, the anime Soul Eater. I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it. That's a soul I ate.
Yeah, he's got that.
Okay.
Welcome to Tuesday the 20th of September. We are doing the anime Soul Eater. What can you tell us about it?
Well, 2008, 2009. I think there's 52 episodes or something like that. And I first got interested in this because I watched Bleach, and I saw Bleach on what is it?
Cartoon Network?
Yes,
Cartoon Network.
on Adult Swim.
Adult Swim.
And it got compared to this by some review or something, so it made me interested in, okay, well, what are they comparing? Because I like Bleach. I like I like the second season. When they go to the Soul Society,
right.
I like that first chunk. But
right.
then they deal with the bounce and whatever, and I kind of lost interest. But anyway, so I visited Soul Eater. They just compared it. And I think it's kind of an unfair comparison. I mean, it is similar in that there is kind of a society that deals with souls.
Yeah.
But it's very different. There are Meisters, which have this soul energy, which is a lot like Bleach.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are weapons that are made from other humans, which I can see a little bit of parallel. I mean, you could Ichigo's sword and whatever.
Yeah.
But they're literally, they talk with you beside. They're your friends, your buddies, or whatever. And they get paired. So the weapon gets paired with the Meister, and the Meister channels their soul energy through the weapon. I think that's where the similarities end. It's about a school of kids who are basically being raised to become death scythes to protect. And it's kind of funny because Lord Death, is the good guy in this scenario. But really what it is there are, the good side who try to get 99 evil human souls and one witch soul to become a death scythe. And then there's the bad side that are witches, they're interested in kind of anarchist kind of things. And they want to create a demon sword or a demon god by getting 99 normal, like good human souls. And so there's a conflict there. Lord Death has bound himself to his city in order to keep what they call a Kishan, which is a demon god, in his little captive thing. It's basically made out of his skin. And they wrapped him up in his own skin, and that's why he can't get out. And there's like seals and all this protection or whatever. But so the plot basically, it starts off following the kids, some of the kids. What's her name? Maka and Soul Eater. Soul, they just call him Soul. He's the weapon. Maka is the Meister. That pair is kind of the central pair. There's also Black Star and Tsubaki, which is another set of Meister and weapon. And then there's Kid and Patty and Liz. And so anyway, it kind of follows them. It's very not Naruto-esque because it's the kids ninja school kind of thing. But this is the Meister Academy where they learn how to do whatever. And there's a lot of playful nature between them. There's little sweetheart romances, and there's one-upmanship. They try to one-up each other, and there's some really quirky, classic kind of anime things where like Kid is actually Death's son, but he's obsessed with symmetry, and so if something happens to make something asymmetrical, he goes nuts and loses it. So it's kind of fun in that respect, and it's also childish in that respect.
Okay.
But there are serious battle moments as well. It has to do with good and evil. There are some grown-up instructor meisters or whatever and weapons that have gone through hell, and there's one in particular, Stein. He's this Frankenstein-looking guy. He's got stitches all over the place, and he has to deal with madness. Kind of in him, and that's the whole thing. Is the Kishan amplifies madness that resides in
everyone.
Yeah, in everyone, and so keeping him at bay is good. Otherwise, he gives strength to the evil ones and could cause the good ones to go evil. So there's just kind of the whatever the I don't know. I see, I guess, a little Dragon Ball Z-ish kind of thing in there, and just kind of
You said this came out in 2008
8 and 9.
and 9. Was it a manga before that?
It is a manga, but I don't think before. I think they were done the same time. You know, a lot of times they do the manga for the first story
Right.
and then lead into the manga.
Because there was a
For the anime and then
there was a game for what was it, PlayStation 2 called Eve of Extinction. I think it was PlayStation 2, and that had the main character and his girlfriend was turned into a weapon. Her something was trapped within.
Well, maybe that was a precursor because there was a game for Wii for Soul Eater.
Well, I don't know. I think Eve of Extinction was its own deal because it had nothing to do with death. So he had the weapon changed. He had a bow, he had kamas, he had
Okay.
not
Some
kamas,
of the weapons.
tanfas.
See, that's the kind of the unique thing, where some of the weapons have ability to change into different types of weapon. Some of them don't. Some of the Meisters have a soul ability to do it directly without a weapon. There's one instance where the weapon and the Meister are joined together, so they are one being with two consciousnesses, kind of thing. He's actually one that almost becomes a demon sword, but then he gets changed over or whatever. So it's an interesting juxtaposition of serious semi badass fighting and child play.
Okay.
Like funny character.
Now the goal of the weapons is to turn into Death Sons.
Right.
So why is Kid, and Kid was Death's son, why is his weapons turning into guns? And why does he shoot with his pinkies?
Well, the Death Scythe is just, I don't know why he shoots with his pinkies. I don't know. That's just the thing they did for him. Yeah, he shoots down here. They're pointed upside down.
I can't even, like...
Maybe he's a little bit of a dandy. But Death Scythe is just the term. It's not an actual scythe.
Okay.
There are two actual scythes. But there's also like a lantern and fire. There's also like big gauntlet gloves. There's the guns. There's swords. There's a whole bunch of different things. That reminds me, speaking of sword, there is like 2 episodes that I say you shouldn't even waste your time with, and they center around this thing called Excalibur. It's supposed to be, like King Arthur's Excalibur, right? He is a sword and he's looking for his Meister or whatever, but it's funny for about 2 minutes, maybe 2 seconds, probably. It's just really grating the sense of humor. It's just this little white thing with an Elizabethan collar and a top hat and a cane, like jumping around, like I'm so great, I'm Excalibur or whatever. And that's literally, I don't know. It's I would skip it if you if you're watching, if you're going along, and it's just I don't know why they did that. Every once in a while in anime, they just do something completely different and jam it in the middle, and that's kind of what this is.
Wow.
He shows up again later, sort of makes sense because he becomes somebody's weapon. But there's no reason to have his little stupid episode in the middle. I just have a real aversion to that. So if you're watching it and it's like, this is really retarded, just skip it. There's nothing good at the end or anything. Just skip that episode. Maybe the next one.
Okay.
But otherwise, if you're okay with a little bit of a childish feel to it, just some of the character stuff. Like they play basketball. We saw the episode where they play basketball and whatever. If you're okay with that, if you like the school ones, ones where they go to school, like what is it, School Rumble School, or I don't know, the one with I'm forgetting her name. She has like these 2 big hair things that go out. You don't know what I'm talking about?
They all have big hair things that go out.
Well, anyway, if you're okay with that, that kind of adolescent storyline, there's a lot of adult stuff mixed in too, but there's a lot of cutesy things around it. Lord Death himself looks kind of cutesy. And it's supposedly because his real form scares kids. And so if he wants to teach kids, he needs to... So he has a kind of a groupie voice. He's out of and I said it was a little Irish. But,
that was.
I'm Irish, so I can make fun of Irish. So
I'm
anyway,
not Irish, but I'm going to anyway.
And then there's like the moon and the sun, which you were like, what the heck is up with the moon
I
and
didn't
the
get
sun?
that because the moon and the sun both have faces.
There
and
isn't.
The sun's always laughing. And
it's never explained.
the moon was drooling or something.
Kind of. It's like drilling blood.
Yeah, that was weird.
Anyway.
Blood moon.
I just think it's fun. I just think it's fun.
I think the art style is interesting, because
It's pretty clean.
yeah, they're long, they're lanky, I guess.
Yeah. They're slouchy and yeah.
And they always dress in like these kind of punk outfits.
They're very classic spiky hair. But yeah, I mean, the outfits are
punkish.
Yeah.
Or emo.
They have
punk.
big cuffs and studs and yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting. The backgrounds are kind of, they fisheye some things for whatever reason.
And you've got a character, Black Star, that kind of gets on my nerves at the beginning because he's kind of Naruto. In fact, I think it's the same voice that does Naruto, but he's also really, really pompous. Like Naruto's pompous enough. This guy's even more pompous. So It's like, shut up. But it's only for the first couple episodes, and it really does set the tone for that character. So it's good that it's in there, and it's not as grating as Excalibur. Good grief, that guy sucks. So, that's it. I say take a look.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's very interesting. And actually, I forgot I've seen some of it. I saw some of it with my sisters. And it was...
Did you?
Yeah, I think they watched the Japanese dubbed version, though. So I was like, what's going on? I don't get it. And then they were saying... And then, because when you brought up Kid and his symmetry thing, I remember him going crazy because something was off.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and this is also another one where I can't comment on the Japanese because I watch a lot of my anime on Netflix right now because they're starting to add a lot more, and they don't give you an option for listening to the Japanese, which I would probably prefer the English anyway, right. Just because I can really appreciate, especially anime, because things happen so fast sometimes. Yeah, and then it's easily if you like. If you're reading the subtitle comes up and then it goes away to go to the next scene. You're like, I didn't finish reading that. I'm a slow reader. The cat in the hat. You're not that fast. Well, I'm not trying to waste their time. Speaking of wasting time, see you guys. Oh. Yes, finally, I got one. I'm so happy. I was so scared. So scared. Yeah. Woo. On this week's Focal Point, we talk about the future of comics. Nick is made out of wax. Wee. I don't think wax goes wee. When you rub it, I haven't rubbed wax lately. You could be right. Wax rubber. Okay, everybody, let's go. Okay. Hey, everybody, it's the and we're gonna. Okay, let's go. Come on, let's go. Okay. Come on, hurry up. Okay, stop. I should have. No. I think. Let's go. I thought it was more funny when you went all serious. You're like. Let's go. Okay, come on. Seriously. Let's go. You're like a ventriloquist, a very deformed. Okay, so it's September 15th. Just wait till I fart. What? I don't even know what that means. I'll be a ventriloquist because it'll say something. I won't be moving my lips. Well, you'll be moving flaps. I don't know. I've never actually watched. Well, that's how it works. That's how you get that noise. The flaps vibrate. Flaps. The cheekal region. Yeah. I thought you had some part of anatomy I don't. The butt flaps. What flaps? I don't know anything about flaps. Are there flaps that cover it? What's going on? Yeah, it's like... No, I can't say that. Alright, serious time. Time for serious. I guess you were over-circumcised. What? They took away your butt flaps, too. Oh, they made a mistake. I'm pissed. Give me back my butt flap. Stop with the serious face. Well, I just want a little bit of smile, so I'll go from serious to... I'll just go from... I'm smelling something bad. I'm like on a food commercial where I like took a bite and I'm like, this is really good, but it's not really good. Like, this is really good. It's not about to make me throw up. Okay.